deuce. You throwing off the vibe, man, that don't die time. It's all about the vibe, all that I got time. I ain't got the goose, stack with me. Don't come through, the bag in the G. You ain't with the vibe, don't waste my time. Yeah, what's good like making, in the making, a young tycoon that's sicker than tie forward and spit like a typhoon to the rain. Live in the streets where the money's hunted by drainages. If it's ain't
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to chilly, but of course sold out GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Straight ahead, a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl, and it should be a great one, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. On the return, Marcus Jones from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Second down and a little more than a yard here. Quick throw to Olave. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
The slot man in motion right. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. No sweat from Montez Sweat that time as he makes that stop look easy.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Check. 73.
They go play action with Hurts. He lets it go deep for Olave. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
Here's A-Chain to begin the drive. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Oh, his first throw in his playoff matchup is intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching the bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
A throw over the middle taken in. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Throwing is Hurts. And that is incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And this is no good. Close, but he misses just left of the upright. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt him later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
And this drive will begin with a run from A-Chain. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 29, here's the 2nd down and 4. Play action. It's Lawrence. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Let's go.
3rd down and 13.
11. Add it. Go.
Lawrence. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. On the return is Jones. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here first and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Second and 10. Hurts. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. Oh, some strong running. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
No score after one on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a first and 10. Left, it's Hurts. And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. Chris Jones that time coming in with a tackle behind the line. So their task a little bit more difficult now. Second and 13 that they're walking up on.
Hey, 73.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Buying time to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down.
King, Phil King.
Here's Hurts to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime the ball is thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And Hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it. He'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. They could not convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? how about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard. I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
They need two. Here's third down.
All right, here we go. Done. Here we go.
They'll run for it with A-Chain, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Hey, kill.
Fourth down. Here's Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position.
Great.
The pass caught by Olave. He's got room at the 30. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. He completes it to Olave. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Hurts sets up to throw it. That's Olave bringing in another one. Touchdown, Jaguars! Chris Olave from 8 yards out. And the Jaguars are on the board first here in this AFC Championship game. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Hey.
Achane on 1st and 10. And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Hey, Ryan.
2nd down and 8.
Think right. 13, Lou.
Now Lawrence. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
30 left. Here we go.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.